Good evening. Just 72 hours ago, the world watched as the United States Space Force launched Operation Celestial Shield. The target, a mysterious object, 3I Atlas, on a trajectory alarmingly close to Earth. This was not a scientific mission. It was a defensive gamble against a potential threat of unknown origin. The implications are staggering, reaching far beyond military strategy. For the first time, humanity attempted to intercept an object from deep space, testing our ability to defend Earth itself. The outcome will echo for decades, shaping international relations and forcing us to question our place in the universe. Space defense is no longer science fiction, it's our present reality. Was the US justified? What was 3I Atlas? Did it truly threaten us? The answers will define the rules of engagement in this new frontier. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. Tonight, we take you inside this historic event with exclusive insights from the Pentagon and NORAD. We'll break down the timeline, analyze the global shockwaves, and speak with leading experts. What happened in the silent darkness of space has created a loud, complex situation here on Earth. The story is still unfolding, but one thing is clear. We have crossed a threshold, and there is no going back. Stay with us as we unravel the aftermath of Operation Celestial Shield. This is 360 Degrees. What exactly is 3I Atlas? Detected on July 4, 2025, it's only the third interstellar object ever confirmed in our solar system. Unlike Oumuamua and Borisov, 3I Atlas showed non-gravitational accelerations, suggesting controlled propulsion. Spectrographic analysis revealed a smooth, crystalline metallic alloy, not found in nature, and a geometric, architectural structure. Radar imaging estimated it at 300 meters long, with reflections hinting at artificial origin. Governments classified much of the data, but the object's final trajectory was the tipping point. After passing the Sun, it adjusted course to pass within 40,000 kilometers of Earth, inside the orbit of our most critical satellites. U.S. Space Command warned of unacceptable risk to global infrastructure, the fear, collision, intelligence gathering, or deployment of unknown technology. With its capabilities a black box, inaction was deemed irresponsible. Operation Celestial Shield was launched to intercept and neutralize the perceived threat. To grasp the gravity of these events, we must understand the United States Space Force. Established in December 2019, it was created to protect U.S. and allied interests in an increasingly contested space domain. Its mission: organize, train, and equip personnel to defend vital assets, GPS, communications, surveillance satellites. The Space Force consolidated responsibilities once scattered across the military, elevating space to the level of land, sea, and air. Quietly, the Pentagon developed defensive and offensive space capabilities, including the Guardian-class interceptor used in Operation Celestial Shield. This was no spur-of-the-moment decision, but the result of years of planning. Previous actions involved maneuvering satellites or targeting known, man-made objects. The attempt to intercept 3I Atlas marked the first use of military force against an object of unknown, possibly extraterrestrial origin. The stakes and the risks have never been higher. The world is watching how we respond. The world learned of Operation Celestial Shield just hours before launch. On September 25, 2025, two Guardian-class interceptors launched from California, aiming for a rendezvous 38,000 kilometers above Earth. GCV-1 carried a disruptor payload, an electromagnetic pulse weapon designed to disable, not destroy. GCV-2 trailed behind, observing and ready with a kinetic impactor as a last resort. At 02:17 GMT, GCV-1 closed to within 10 kilometers of 3I Atlas and fired its disruptor. Telemetry showed a massive energy spike, far beyond the disruptor's output. Suddenly, both interceptors went silent. General Saltzman later revealed, the energy burst came from 3I Atlas itself, disabling both vehicles. The object then accelerated away from Earth, altering its trajectory out of the solar system. The mission failed. Not only did we fail to neutralize the object, we may have provoked it. Humanity's first direct encounter with an interstellar visitor ended in silence and uncertainty. The consequences are only beginning to unfold. The world is left with more questions than answers. The aftermath is not twisted metal, but unsettling questions. The two Guardian interceptors are now silent debris, tracked closely by NORAD. Their loss is a blow to U.S. technological prestige and raises doubts about our space defense capabilities. More alarming, 3i Atlas actively defended itself, disabling our most advanced assets with a precise, unknown energy burst. This suggests a level of technology and intent beyond our understanding. Was 3i Atlas ever a threat, or did we provoke it? The data from GCV2 is now the most valuable intelligence on Earth, but what little is declassified is startling. We've shown our willingness to use force in space and revealed our limitations. 3i Atlas is gone, leaving us with a debris field of doubt and a humbling realization. We are not alone, nor are we the most advanced. The fallout has been swift and severe. China condemned the US for reckless cosmic militarism, calling for an emergency UN session. Russia mocked the operation, questioning its legality and exposing American vulnerability. Even US allies demand transparency and worry about the precedent set for future encounters. The unilateral action has strained alliances and fueled fears of a new arms race in space. Smaller nations, reliant on space for development, now fear becoming collateral in superpower conflicts. The UN Secretary-General has called for a moratorium on weaponized actions in space and renewed treaty talks. The world is fractured, looking up at the same sky with very different fears. The need for global cooperation has never been more urgent. Economic shockwaves hit immediately. Insurance premiums for satellites soared, with some syndicates halting new policies. Commercial space companies face surging costs. Projects once viable are now in jeopardy. Stock prices for satellite-dependent industries dipped sharply. The GPS system's reliability, vital to trillions in economic activity, is now questioned. Space tourism faces a PR crisis, with customers wary of a militarized orbit. Calls for increased defense spending will spark fierce budget debates, diverting resources from other priorities. The failed mission has triggered a cascade of uncertainty across global markets. To make sense of this, we turn to Dr. Aris Thorne, astrophysicist and space policy expert. Dr. Thorne, the key lesson is that our entire space strategy was built on the false assumption of human-only actors. We applied a military solution to a non-human problem and failed. 3i Atlas responded with precision, not destruction, then left. From its perspective, this may have been simple pest control, not war. Politically, the US now faces accusations of recklessness, undermining its leadership in space. Rivals can now paint America as the aggressor, complicating future cooperation. The path forward? Humility. We must acknowledge our limits, be transparent, and pivot from military-first to science-first responses. Next time, send probes, not weapons. We've been given a warning shot, clean, precise, and unmistakable. The question is, will we listen? The future of space security depends on it. Where do we go from here? The 3i Atlas encounter is a wake-up call for humanity. Space is no longer a lawless frontier. It's an unpredictable environment that shapes our security and prosperity. The path forward must begin with diplomacy, not force. The US must lead by championing international cooperation and robust legal frameworks for space. We need clear protocols for unknown encounters, based on science, not unilateral action. Public engagement is crucial. Space belongs to everyone, and its safety is a global concern. We must demand transparency and support policies prioritizing stability and discovery. The story of 3i Atlas is a cautionary tale, a lesson in humility from a universe far older and more complex than we imagined. Our journey into space must be guided by curiosity, cooperation, and wisdom. The stars are watching. Let's show we're ready. Stay informed, stay engaged. For 360 Degrees, I'm Anderson Cooper.